Since 2015, the Black Manosphere has been very, very popular here in the space we affectionately call Black YouTube. And other groups have been, even coming out of that, such as the hashtag Passport Bros, which is somewhat of a spinoff of the Black Manosphere. And there are many people who have contributed to that community. Myself, Obsidian Media Network, the Angry Man Channel, BGS Ibmore, Kevin Samuels, and others. But there's a guy right now who recently did an interview that's taking credit by saying he is the person that is the real founder of the Black Manosphere. Let's find out who this guy is and if he is actually the creator of it. Let's get into the video.
And so you were basically in the Kevin Samuels lane long before Kevin Samuels and taking a lot of heat and blowback from Black women for being critical of Black women. Accurate?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I put up a video the other day. I showed people all of the messages I used to get from Kevin Samuels, who was a huge fan of mine before he started doing most of the talking points he got them from me.
So tell me this, Tommy. Honestly, and I was telling Royce this before the show, that this dude is one of the most talented broadcasters out there. I mean, you come on the Twitter Spaces and you're brilliant. The stuff I saw from your previous work when I was on your show, you're a super talented broadcaster. Tell me why are you so obsessed though with tooting your own horn or making sure that you state that everybody that moves into the Manosphere actually stole all their material from you? It seems unnecessary and counterproductive to do that.
I don't say everybody stole it, but you brought up Kevin Samuels, and I wanted to point it out. If someone does something, I figure I'm like one of them pro-blacks who say that blacks created rock and roll. Are they obsessed with it, or are they telling the truth?
The truth is that, yes, Kevin Samuels used to take some phrases from everybody and put it into his context every now and then. He would even say, weaving and sandling up, like I say that. But the reality is that Kevin Samuels is completely different as a creator than Tommy Sotomayor. He's a completely different creator than me. And people want to take credit for his success as if they helped him up or helped him do something. No, he didn't. He might have been a fan of Tommy. He's also a fan of me. He's a fan of Obsidian. Kevin Samuels was his own lane. Was he inspired by certain things Tommy probably said? Absolutely. But Tommy didn't help create nothing in the Manosphere, because Tommy, to be in a Manosphere, you needed to have some level of relationship with Black men, be concerned about Black male issues. And Tommy wasn't. Tommy is a bona fide sellout. And speaking of the Black women that he was trying to correct so much, he spent most of his time getting them pregnant and still sleeping with the same ones he called hood rats in BT 1000s and stuff like that. You never seen Kevin getting caught up like that. You never seen me getting caught up like that. But you do see Tommy getting caught up like that. Screenshots and cursing ladies out and kicking them out their house and all kind of stuff. But at the same time, he's saying that these ladies are HOEs and 304s and all this, and he's getting exposed by them and stealing the money for documentaries. All right? You didn't create no Manosphere, bro, at all. You didn't help the community grow at all. Did you have some good points here and there? Yes. But the person that started and is the brainchild of Black Manosphere 2.0, in my honest opinion, was Obsidian Media Network when he came out and said that he was the voice of the everyday brother. He's the one that got everybody to Patreon. He was the first person I saw on Patreon. He was the one that really gave the average everyday Black man this idea that Black men needed to have a voice in that direction. That person was not Tommy Sotomayor. Let's continue.
I get, but I think people would be more apt to give you that credit if you didn't say it yourself. Because, again, it's clear as day, just based on the record, you were there first. You're a super talented broadcaster. You're as talented a broadcaster as Rush Limbaugh or anybody else. Why have you been pushed into the background?
Well, that's exactly where it came from. When I would show up, I didn't used to say or toot my own horn at all. Never used to do that at all. But you got tired of you're doing your show and someone says, you're trying to sound like Kevin Samuels. You're trying to sound like so-and-so. That became irritating. It would be like being James Naismith and you're saying, you're trying to play basketball like so-and-so. You're like, no, I created it. That it does get irritating if someone's doing that. And how did I end up getting pushed in the background? Well, if you build up something and tear it down, whoever's going up slower than you, you build it up, they tear it down. It looks like this. They tear you down, and the others don't get torn down. So you look like you are following them instead of the other way around.
What fucking lie? Now, is he talented? Yeah, I won't take it. He's a liar, though. You tore yourself down, fool. How many channels and community guideline strikes? You destroyed your own career, bro. Nobody tore you down. You got shut down on YouTube over 200 times, something crazy like that, because you couldn't follow rules. You can't get along with anybody. You have no discipline. You're a train wreck. You're a bro. So who tore you down? You tore yourself down, man. You're unaccountable like the woman you complain about. Like you lack discipline completely. Kevin Samuels had discipline. He didn't waste his time going back beefing with people and all this other little silly stuff you did like a girl. Like, that's what you do. But let's hear the answer to this, though.
And so you think it's all jealousy, no mistakes by Tommy?
No. I didn't say it was jealousy. I didn't even use the word jealousy. I don't think what happens is if I say something and I get knocked down off of YouTube, if they're saying something and they don't, well, theirs keep going up.
Why did you get knocked down from YouTube? You saw he's playing semantics? He said jealousy, or is it your fault? You completely forgot that. You messed up your career on here, bruh. Kevin Samuels didn't stop you from doing a career. Now you want to take credit because he actually played the game right and you didn't, because you can't get along with anybody and you don't have any decorum and you go around here acting like a little woman and you're almost like 50 years old and you're still going around here being unaccountable and you're on here trying to kiss Jason Whitlock's ass when, definitely nobody wants to deal with you because you have a bad reputation. So now you want to be acting like you didn't get yourself kicked off of YouTube. You got yourself banned from the platform, bro. So now you want to come out and say you created the sphere? Man, you didn't help anybody in the sphere do. I was there every night interviewing people. I was discovering people. I gave Kevin Samuels his first interview. So many people, bro. You didn't help not one person. You might have had a few things to say about what happened with single mothers and covering black women, but you covered them from a standpoint of making news clips about them, how ratchet they were, and things like that. A lot of the intellectual conversations that even Kevin had, and you had some, Kevin surpassed you in that. There was no denying that. You didn't give no thought to the whole process of that because you don't get along with anybody. You think everybody's stealing from you. And as far as stealing from you, it's like you still have that same dusty ass setup you've always had. You've never reinvested into it. All you've done is scam people and GoFundMes. You're a fraud, con artist. This is all you've ever done. You're a fraud, you're a con artist, you're a liar, you're a thief, you're emotional. You can't even keep your own stuff up. You destroyed your own career. Now you started the sphere, but let's go to the next clip here. So in this clip, he's gonna say that, like again, Kevin was stealing from him. He used to call Kevin all kind of names, call him gay, everything like that, right? All right, once Kevin got hot, he ignored Tommy. But then, here's how much of a sellout and a liar Tommy is. Just Pearly Things has grifted everything from people. And then Once Just Pearly Things had the Nick Fuente situation going on, he was telling her not to apologize to these black HOESs. He talked bad about Courtney Michelle, I believe. He talked bad about Six the Goddess, Danica Marie, called them all kind of names, out of their names. But then clearly Just Pearly Things steals like Kevin Samuels did in his alleged mind. But I want you to hear how he caped for the white lady, right? Let's check it out.
You've taken me to a point where I feel like I have to ask you, you somewhat strongly defended Pearl in the Twitter spaces.
He buffooned for Pearl, not somewhat, he did.
I'm wondering now for a fuller thought, do you think Pearl is someone that's just basically repeating other people's talking points?
Well, yes, I think a lot of it is, I defended the idea of what she was going through, which is if someone's attacking you, why are you going to talk to them? That would be kind of silly because they're trying.
That ain't what you said. You called them black bees and HOESs and all out their name for somebody who wasn't even talking about you. You disrespected those ladies, Tommy.
Trying to make you look bad. Most people don't go into conversations having a good faith. Even if you think you know something about someone, let them tell you so you can then check them on what they say. And so that's what I was saying. But a lot of what she's saying is stuff that either already has been said or something that's going to, it's triggering. It's purposely triggering to people. And the sad part about it is women are easily triggered. So it's easy to do it because as a man, you know this, if they say black men need to take care of their kids, even if you take care of your kids, you're not going to jump up and say, I do it. You will actually agree and be like, yeah, there's a lot of brothers that need to take care of their kids. You don't get offended.
Here's Cable for Pearl. I saw this guy disrespect black women all day and all night when Just Pearly Things clearly was doing stuff that was wrong against blacks. So much so that all her black employees have now quit. But who was over there buffooning? Tommy. Because Tommy don't like black people. So how can you be an inspiration for the black manosphere? You can't work with nobody. But let's go to this next clip.
Yeah, I mean,
I like his beard.
Tommy, I'm just telling you, this guy is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
He's a skilled broadcaster. Mm-hmm. But as I told you before,
it's about to give me a backhand compliment. He do it all the time.
yeah. You're undisciplined.
Facts. Is the guy talented? Absolutely. He's one of the better YouTubers, and at one point I felt like he was the best YouTuber that I've seen in black YouTube until Kevin Samuels really came about. Yeah, he is great. I'm not gonna, he has some talent there. He's undisciplined. He did it to himself. How can you be undisciplined and start something and be spearheaded? The black manosphere grew because it took discipline. Tommy don't got no discipline. He's very selfish. But let's continue.
You're undisciplined. And so I look at you and go, man, this dude should have been Andrew Tate for America. But, you know, minus the, well, I can't even say minus, but should have been Andrew Tate. Yeah, should have been Andrew Tate. But the lack of discipline, you put banana peels in front of yourself.
Yes.
With you know, some unnecessary fights, not playing above. It's like, I look at the scrap you went back and forth with Kwame Brown, and I just didn't get it. It made no sense to me why you would be arguing and fussing with Kwame Brown.
But it made sense that Kwame Brown would be
always unaccountable, always trying to come out and say something like a little hoe. It's always somebody else's fault with this guy. You know what I mean? Always looking for a way out. He threw his whole career away, started making porn on OnlyFans. Now he's over there struggle streaming, and now he's gonna he's over here begging to get on somebody's show platform. He was begging Jason Whitlock to bring him on because now don't nobody want to talk to him. So watch these excuses he makes like a thought. Let's go.
Arguing with me by that logic.
Yes.
So it made sense that Kwame would argue with me, but it didn't make sense that I would argue.
He always tries to do those cement by that logic. But watch this.
With him?
Absolutely.
Please explain that to the world.
Kwame Brown because Kwame Brown's not as skilled a broadcaster or as brilliant as you. And I don't say that to be dismissive of Kwame Brown.
Right.
But as a broadcaster, he doesn't have your skills.
Okay.
And so you should, there's a lot of people that pick and fuss at me that I completely ignore because it's just, it ain't even, they're not on my level.
Hello.
And so why would I roll around in the mud with them when I could just put out my own content and keep it moving?
Yep.
And everybody would ignore or just forget about them because my actual talents would so outshine their lack of talent that it would make them irrelevant.
Kind of how like Kevin Samuels did you by ignoring you because you don't have the same level of ability that he did. And Kevin Samuels grew into his skill set where you kind of just tapered off and had no discipline. That's why he ignored you, because you were not on his level. Did you get that? That's what you should have been doing, but that's how he did you, and that's how he surpassed you. And he did things on the internet you have never done in your life because of that. Let's go.
And again, I have respect for Kwame Brown, but I also am smart enough and have heard enough from you to be like, this guy is a brilliant broadcaster that knows a lot, and he's wrestling with a NBA player that's out on a tractor or in a car taping videos, just saying stuff, you know, not off the top of his head, but it just, it was completely unnecessary. And it to me, it distracted from people being able to see the substance that you have to offer rather than seeing you wrestle around and have a petty feud with someone who's just an up and comer.
There you go.
Well, people forget that I knew him before he became what he was.
Man, stop trying to make excuses for why you were where you are in your life right now, which is nowhere. Okay? It's always somebody's fault. You ruined your whole entire career by basically falling out with people and stabbing folks in the back. But let's continue.
What he was. And when he started taking shots with me, then I took him back because at that moment, you have to remember exactly what I said. They're knocking me off of all of social media. So they knocked me down. I have to start.
Who knocked you off, man? Like, it's the same guy that want to hold black women accountable for what they do, but they're knocking me off. You knocked yourself off because you don't want to follow rules. You want to come out and completely violate community guidelines. It's you, bro. They knocked you off. You sound like a lady. You knocked yourself off, bro. But you're here lying. Let's get back to the lies.
Back over again. So if you already have it, it's the same reason that you will bring people on your show. Conan, when he had a show, Jimmy, Kimmel, all of these people. Pearl came on your show. Had Pearl not had a name, Pearl could actually go away next week. She could go away next year. You would forget all about her. But because she had a name, you brought her on. So if he has a name and he's got all these people looking at him and they've already knocked my stuff down and then he's repeating it like there was what?
You knocked your stuff down because you're undisciplined. And people think he's a good debater because he debates in semantics that don't make sense. It is clear as day, your actions got you kicked off not only this platform, several platforms across social media. So they knocked you down?
One thing he repeated word for word, and it was hilarious. Everybody was like, oh, it's such a good speech. And I said, he literally repeated. I had to say,
he literally. Man, shut up, dude. Man, anyway, man, you're a I'm just going to be honest, dog. The more you cry, the less your legacy is. I mean, let's be honest about Tommy Sotomayor as a broadcaster and starting the Manosphere. Funny, says some interesting, cool stuff. He brings out some points. Weaknesses and the flaws: undisciplined financially with his money. Okay, never reinvest into the business. His content never looked great, like this video here. Never spent any money. Doesn't spend money with people. Okay? Backstabs everybody he deals with. Okay? Has public relations with women and disrespects them on social media. And then goes to have sex with them on OnlyFans. And nobody wants to touch Tommy Sotomayor because of the kind of liar, the kind of hypocrite, the kind of clown he is. And he didn't create no manosphere. Okay? He's no more created the manosphere than some guys, some black men in the barbershop that were having these discussions many years ago in the Black America. There are only a select few of guys, you're looking at one, that helped content creators in the sphere and helped lay the foundation, and it was not him. Now, he might have been something that people have talked about, and he must have, like I said, he was entertaining. He might have been an inspiration as a creator because he was the biggest black creator at one time, or one of them in YouTube. But he didn't create the sphere. Because if he would have created the sphere, he would have created it for himself. Tommy's only ruined himself. So how can he sustain something like that long? It's impossible. He's a destroyer of things, not a builder of things. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shadu Jackson, with another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.